We all want what's best for our pets. But what if the next massive leap forward in their care wasn't some new medicine, but a new kind of intelligence? Today, we are diving into the absolutely fascinating world where artificial intelligence and animal care meet. Seriously, just picture this for a second. You take your cat or your dog in for a totally routine checkup, and your vet turns to you and says, "Hey, based on our analysis, we're seeing the very early signs of a problem that probably wouldn't show symptoms for another year, and we can start managing it right now." I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But it's not. In clinics and research labs all over the world, AI is already sparking a quiet revolution. It is literally changing the game for how we care for animals. So, the huge shift here, the big idea, is moving away from what we call reactive care, treating an illness after it shows up, and moving to proactive care. AI has given veterinarians the tools to get out ahead of diseases, spotting them long before they become serious. Okay, so how does all this actually work in practice? Well, when you look at all the scientific research out there, AI's impact on veterinary medicine really boils down to four main areas, and that's going to be our roadmap for this explainer. This chart here lays out those four key pillars, from running the clinic to hardcore biomedical research. Now, we're going to zero in on two of the most exciting ones: what's happening in your local clinical practice and the massive implications for global public health. All right, let's start with the place we all know and love, the vet's office. This is where AI is stepping in as this incredible new assistant, basically giving superpowers to the amazing professionals we already trust with our pets' lives. And check this out. This is where it gets really, really cool. Look at this chart. More than half, 51%, of all the ways AI is being used in clinics is for one single purpose: early diagnosis of diseases. That's the biggest piece of the pie by far, followed by helping to analyze things like X-rays. And here's why that's so important. AI isn't just about being faster. It sees things differently. It can spot these super subtle connections in lab results and health records, patterns that are pretty much invisible to the human eye. It's the ultimate tool for finding that crucial signal in all the noise. Just think about a chest X-ray. A top-notch radiologist has years of training and knows exactly what to look for. But an AI? It can scan that same image and compare it to literally thousands of others in an instant, flagging tiny, tiny little spots that might be a hint of a problem. Then it hands that information over to the human expert to make the final call. See, it's the perfect partnership, not a replacement. Okay, let's make this super concrete. Let's talk about chronic kidney disease, or CKD. It's a really common and serious issue for older cats. But the sneaky part is that its early signs are incredibly subtle. It's a truly silent illness. So one study built an AI model that just sifts through the results of routine blood and urine tests, the kind of stuff older cats get anyway. And by digging through all that data, the AI found these hidden patterns that could predict with amazing accuracy which cats were on track to develop CKD later on. And catching it that early, it means you can start managing it sooner. And that could add precious, healthy years to a cat's life. That is the incredible power of predictive care. But AI's senses aren't just about what it can see. Some of the coolest work is actually being done with sound, helping to diagnose problems you can hear but can't spot on an X-ray. Okay, so for breeds like pugs and French bulldogs, those cute flat-faced dogs, breathing issues can be a huge concern. So researchers built a system where a vet just uses an electronic stethoscope to record a dog's breathing. That audio file gets fed to an AI model that listens for the specific sound signatures of airway syndrome. And then it gives the vet a probability score. It's quick, it's totally non-invasive, and it's just so clever. So now let's zoom out, because the very same tech that helps your dog at the local clinic can be scaled up to protect entire animal populations, and by extension, us, on a global scale. This all comes back to a really important idea called One Health. It's this simple but incredibly profound concept that you just can't separate the health of people from the health of animals and the environment. It's all connected. And a perfect and honestly a pretty scary example of a One Health problem is avian influenza. You know it as bird flu. It's a virus that can wipe out bird populations, and it always carries that terrifying risk of making the jump to humans. So I want you to just look at this number for a second. 0.79. What on earth could that mean in the fight against a potential pandemic? Well, that number, 0.79, represents a nearly 80% success rate. That was the accuracy of the world's first global AI model designed to predict where bird flu was going to pop up next in wild birds. By crunching massive amounts of data, migration patterns, climate, past outbreaks, it lets health organizations get ahead of the curve instead of just reacting to bad news. And this just lays it out so perfectly. First, AI helps us predict where a virus might show up. Then it can be used to help discover potential new drugs to fight it. And the results of all that? We can better protect animal populations, which in turn protects us. Okay, so we've gone from the vet's office all the way to a global perspective. Let's bring it back home. What does all of this really mean for you, for your vet, and for the animals you love? I think this quote from the research just sums it all up perfectly. This isn't about replacing vets, not at all. It's about making veterinary care more efficient, easier to access, and in the end, just plain better for everyone. So here's the bottom line. AI is giving our vets superpowers. It's creating a future of more predictive, truly personalized care because it can find patterns we never could on our own. It is a powerful tool for the expert, not a replacement of the expert. And the end result of all of this is just better, faster outcomes for the animals who mean the world to us. And that kind of leads us with a really fascinating question to think about, doesn't it? As this technology just gets better and better, what new possibilities are going to open up? What will that conversation with your vet even sound like in 5 or maybe 10 years, when their incredible expertise is backed up by an AI assistant? The future of animal health, it's already here.